finally start seeing flashes of what Justin Fields is capable of doing. They put a couple of pieces in the offensive line. They still got some work to do. Whitehair's gone. I need Lucas Patrick to be gone just as fast. And I think if we pick up another stud in the draft, hopefully early in the second round, then I think we're looking good. But, we get –
it has to come on that offensive line, though, right?
I think if
it
we –
almost have to be offensive line first unless there's some superstar receiver. But if you can't keep Fields on his feet, it doesn't matter. If he's going to be sacked as much as he has.
I hate to say it, Fields is getting traded. I hate to say it.
The only thing that I'm thinking is if we're going to keep Fields, drop back a couple spots. You can't go past 4. But if you can trade down to 2 or 3 to get Marvin Harrison, that's the only way I'd take him over lineman first.
All About the Balls podcast
with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. We are in the Sack House live. I'm Mark Davis. This is All About the Balls podcast, and I'm joined alongside Luke Rule, Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. And no, that's not Chris Meinhardt, ladies and gentlemen. That is my mentor, one of my 2 mentors back when I was on CBS Sports out there in Orlando, Jim McCrary. He's a co-founder of Inbound Sports radio show. Jim, it's an honor to have you here, man. Like I told Luke, Luke called me out before the show. Yeah, I got fired, but when I got fired, you and Brett brought me back in to be a voice, a personality on the show. So I'm going to start with you, man. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here. How are you feeling?
Absolutely happy to be here. Happy to get to reunite, even here in Bush League. But you got clipped by management, and we determined that we needed not only your input, but we needed somebody to run the board.
Well, remember, I was not allowed to run the board. I was told I can't touch the board when I got fired. But I was an intern back then. I was intern Mike back then. Now I'm a grown man. I moved up from Bush League to JV League now. We are the JVs now. We're not the Bush League. We are now JV. Yeah,
well, the entire area of Orlando is Bush League when I refer to us.
That's true.
You've certainly made the proper moves to better yourself, and you've done well since leaving us.
Oh, and I thank you and Brett. Obviously, I've said that many, many times, and I can't wait to get you guys back on. I know you guys are starting the show very, very shortly, so can't wait to have maybe a voice in that as well, and get back with you guys as well. Do 2 shows at one time would be great.
You'll be on. You'll be a part of it.
Luke, how are you doing tonight? It's been a couple weeks since we had you on, so how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, work's been super busy the last couple of weeks. I mean, early mornings, late nights, just preparing for a large-scale exercise here in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, I mean, just the grind. I just got home right before we're hopping on here. So, yeah.
Work comes first, man,
Pays the bills. This isn't paying the bills yet.
Hopefully one day. But Doc, how are you feeling? I know you're dying before the show. How's it actually going?
Oh, can't complain, man. Can't complain. Glad to be in the Sack House once again. Love being here with you guys. Ready for another great show.
And with that being said, we have a fun show. This is a kind of let loose, just kind of like let our hair down. None of us have long hair, honestly, but it's a chance to actually let it down, though, if we had it. And that's just going to be our first ever trivia game night. We didn't have really much to talk about. We tried doing this last night, and unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with someone's mic. And then when we tried to get it fixed, someone had to get off because of screaming babies in the background. So we're just going to do a fun night. It's going to be based on the NFL draft because there's 5 quarterbacks that are potentially going to be taken in the first round with Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams, Jane Daniels, and Drake May. Maybe Michael Penix is what people are saying, so it could be 6. I don't see that happening. But this is going to be a trivia. It's going to be a round table. We'll start with Luke, then go to Doc, then go to Jim, and we'll keep it going. Just keep it going. There's 43 quarterbacks since the 2010 NFL draft, so 14 total drafts in that time frame from 2010 to 2023 that have been taken in the first round. And we're going to try and see if the 3 of them can name all of them. Who can name the most? They have a chance. Someone has a chance to name 13, and the other 2 to get 12. So if they strike out, 3 strikes, you're out. If whoever has the most when everyone strikes out. But if Luke, for example, gets to 12, Then Doc gets to 12. Jim, you have a chance to get to 12. And then, no one's going to have like more turns than the other. So it's going to be a fair amount of turns. So if Luke gets 3 strikes and you guys are tied, then same thing. Doc will have a chance to get to that 3rd strike if you're both on 3. And the same thing with you, Jim. So, Luke, you're the first man up. Can you name a quarterback in the last 14 drafts that was in the first round?
I think I'm going to start off with the 2-time NFL MVP, Lamar Jackson, 32nd overall.
Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson is definitely on that list. He's good to go.
I'm going to take a different approach here and start as recently as I can. I'm going to go with my boy who I'm hoping we're keeping in Chicago. I'm going to start with Justin Fields.
Yes, Doc. He is a quarterback. He was number 11 in the 2021 draft. Yes, 2020-21 draft, number 11. The Bears. Remember, the Bears traded up with the Giants that draft class. So,
no, that was not that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it definitely
no, I
was.
think I know Trubisky they traded up for because they went from 3 to 2 in that draft.
No, Bears trade, I believe, from 20 to 11 or something like that.
We did that dumb shit again? All right.
I know I'm picking next now. Gave me a second answer.
Jim,
there it is.
Yeah, Jim, you're good to go.
I'm gonna steal one from Luke. I'm not gonna steal the Trubisky one though. I could, but I'm gonna go with Blake Bortles.
Damn, that was my next.
That's the boat. Yeah, the boat right there.
That's the boat. All right, so I'm gonna go. Josh Rosen.
Damn, that was probably one you could probably save on to be honest, if you're thinking about it.
I'm throwing out some tough ones early.
Yeah, Josh Rosen, another surprise guy that they moved on after 1 year in Arizona. That next year, obviously, one of y'all will get it. But you said Blake Bortles, right, Jim? That was the 2013, number 3 overall. He was the first quarterback, by the way, in the 2014 NFL draft.
What a disappointment.
Yeah.
Hey, he went to the AFC Championship.
He did.
But he didn't win.
Jalen Ramsey was talking too much shit. That's why they lost.
My next one, I'll go. I already said it. Obviously, we'll stick with the Bears. Mitch Trubisky.
The bitch.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Doc. I was actually at that draft when you guys traded up. I was in Philly. God, what a fucking night that was. You guys traded up from 3 to 2, and we were confused.
Oh, that was with we traded with the Niners. That's who we traded with.
Well, that was the Niners. Yeah.
Yeah, because we traded with the Niners who weren't even going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, first quarterback taken, by the way, and that 2017 NFL draft in Philly. And dude, I'm telling you, the crowd was. You could probably YouTube it when you listen to it. It was been announced when it was announced before, it was fucking nuts, and probably awesome. It was an awesome time to watch that happen.
Okay, back to
all right, Jim. Yeah, back to you, Jim.
Okay, so how about C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, second quarterback last year, who I believe should have been the first quarterback taken. He was my number 1 in the mock draft last year. So,
possibly.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go to the quarterback of the NFC Championship, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield.
I'll go with Jim on this one in last year's draft. I'll take Bryce Young.
There you go.
Yeah, we're moving, boys. We're moving.
I'm going to go a Johnny Money.
Wait. It would be
Johnny Money.
Jim's turn.
Johnny Manziel. Oh, well, I'll steal that from you. Thanks, Luke.
Okay.
That's Johnny Football.
It
Johnny
was
Money.
Johnny Football. He did the whole.
Well, he was actually on.
Bit.
Yeah, what was he just on?
He was just on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay, and it was actually a pretty good interview. It was a very good.
Talk about how much drugs and alcohol he was using.
Yeah, he admitted to everything. Like he owned up to it. I respect that. I respect how much he matured. He's matured definitely since the A&M and the Cleveland days, and that whole.
He didn't set the bar very high from where he was till now. I mean,
right.
he came in. He was kind of a wash and a piece of shit. And if you remember, Mark, back in the day, I thought Johnny Manziel was going to be the impetus that pushed the Bears forward, at least like Baker Mayfield did when he got there.
Well, remember, Skip Bayless said that he was going to be the biggest thing in Cleveland. He was going to be bigger than LeBron James. ever was.
I
And
thought the same thing. He had potential, and he fucked it away. Bad on
All
him.
right.
a little bit,
Since-
yeah.
Fucked it away.
Since I jumped the gun, I'm gonna go the quarterback that the Bears missed on, Patrick Mahomes.
Perhaps he wasn't the
Let
first
me go
quarterback
with
off
another
the board.
one. Let me go with another one that they missed on, Deshaun Watson.
Oh. Yeah.
At least we would have had a couple of good years out of him.
Well, I mean, there probably wasn't that many good massage parlors out there in Chicago like it is Houston.
I'm sure they're there.
Yeah, but both those quarterbacks were taken before fucking after Mitchell Trubisky. What? God, what a draft that was.
How about the Giants debacle of Dan Jones?
Oh. And they still paid that man.
And they might move on from him this year too. There's rumors that if the quarterback goes,
I think
All
they
right.
should.
All right, I'm gonna go with the MILF hunter, Zach Wilson.
I like it.
so look at y'all. See what I'm saying? You guys thought last night when I was talking to y'all about it, and you guys were a little stressed.
I thought you were going over all positions. That was going to include like offensive linemen and stuff like that. That's where the struggle would have been.
No. I wouldn't do that to you guys. It's going to be stuff that sticks out, but it gets a little challenging towards the end when there's names you guys forget about.
I'm going to go with another failed Jets experiment, a testament to why Colin Cowherd is such a moron. And we're going to take the Sam Darnold experience, the future of the NFL, the greatest quarterback to ever come into the league out of college.
He had the potential.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh no.
Whoa. Jim's turn,
You
Luke.
keep jumping. Dude, that's another false start, dude.
You can give me another hint, though. How about Jared Goff?
Yes, but you guys forget that the Rams traded up with the so there was two trades that year. They traded up with one of the I'm not gonna say the other one, but yeah, they traded up to number one to get Jared Goff. That was Jeff Fisher's, I think, last draft pick in the first round.
I'm gonna go Kyler Murray.
I was thinking him.
Fun fact, he actually got drafted in the first round in two sports.
Yeah.
Also went like
Athlete.
8th overall or 15th overall to the
Softball?
Athletics.
Ladies softball?
No, baseball, Oakland A's, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he probably would have played like a softball player.
I was
Let's
just
be
being a
real.
smart ass, that's all.
I'm going to give Luke's favorite player here, Joey Slants, Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I thought about him, but I was not gonna say Joe Burrow. Even if he
Joe
was
Burrow
awesome.
fanboy over here.
What do you
Yeah.
don't like saying his name?
No, he's not that good. You got to play games to be good, at least.
Okay, how about oh shit. What kind of time limit do we have on this?
Ooh, good question.
You guys got about. Trying to Google. I see.
I'm not. Fuck, I couldn't Google this quick if I. There'd be bells and whistles going off on my phone. If you leave that thing alone and let the thing. Let your
it's
list
doing
sit
it.
there.
It's doing it on its own.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I tell you, JV league, man. I can't afford good
That
equipment.
was very much Bush League. How about Jameis Winston?
Ooh,
That's who I was gonna go with.
he was on my list, yeah. He was on my list.
He was one of. I'll give you guys a hint. One of two Florida State quarterbacks that's on this list.
Well, I guess I will go
Well,
the
one
other
had to
Heisman
be
winner.
Mackenzie Milton.
No, hey, he got what, 5th in the Heisman running? His 1 year when he was good before he destroyed his leg.
We were at that game.
Yeah, I was at that game.
We both were.
So
We
I'm
were
going
drunk.
to the other Heisman winner in Winston's draft, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I am going to go Mac Jones. Mac Jones, that's
What
an
a
easy one.
bust. What a bust.
Yeah.
Hey, he's made the playoffs his rookie year.
He's a dude that I thought had potential.
He was part of what you guys said,
Alabama
Fields and Zach
quarterbacks.
Wilson. He was the last QB in his. He was the last QB in his first round.
How about fuck? I can't think of his name right now.
So I'm saying
From
now it starts to get a little.
State. What?
It says now it starts to get a little challenging. You guys are starting to hammer through it.
Yeah, Michigan State kid at Minnesota. Cannot think of his name.
Plays for Minnesota now, or it was.
Yeah, he's still at Minnesota.
You talking about Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
That's a strike.
Was it too
He's too
far
old.
back?
No, he was a fourth round QB, I believe, in that famous draft class. I don't want to give too many hints away, but
No,
something else.
That's fine.
So
That's
now
your
it's now?
first strike, Jim. Yep, Luke.
I got one.
All
Man.
right. So I'm going to go the only quarterback draft in the first round, Kenny Pickett.
Remember, he's on
Really?
Luke's fantasy or dynasty team.
Yeah, he
Of
is.
course you knew
Unfortunately.
A good choice. Just knocked out an entire year.
Yep. That year's done.
Are we missing?
Missing a few.
You're missing a bunch.
No, I'm looking for the one I have in my head. I'm looking for the one
Right
I have
now-
in my head.
Right now, we're at 21 total. Luke has 8. Doc, you're at 7. And Jim's at 6. But remember, Luke started. So, Doc, you can tie him after this round.
Let's take the eventual Blake Bortles successor, Trevor Lawrence.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's the one I was just thinking of too. I couldn't come up with his name.
Well, I'm gonna screw myself because I'm like trying to go recent and work my way back, and that's where it gets tougher. So I got to if I got one from the 10 years ago, I got to throw that one out there and say.
Now, he was part of that Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones draft. Now, there was 5 QBs in that draft. Just a hint. Only 4 you guys named.
The greatness of Alabama won Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, do that.
His name.
to a
Better
tag
than what I
team.
could say.
All right. Justin Herbert. Oh, Herbie.
Wow, that's a good one.
Damn, Luke, you're flying. You're not even thinking.
He had that Google.
I'm starting to think now. I'm starting to have to think now.
I will go Cam Newton. That's an easy one.
Yeah, MVP in the 2011 draft, number 1 overall. It was a loaded 2011 draft class, too, overall, just in general. But
I would have
Loaded.
thought he might have been too old, too far back.
nope, 2011.
Yeah, well,
All right.
I wasn't calling you out. I would just how about fucking Tim Tebow then?
Yep, Tim Tebow was in the
I was saving Tim Tebow.
Yeah,
Tim Tebow is the 25th overall pick in the 2010 NFL draft. Remember, he was sitting at home and he was crying like a little bitch right when he got called. So good on you, Timmy.
Huh. How about we go good old Josh Allen?
Yes, he was part of that Lamar Jackson draft class, the Baker Mayfield draft class, the Josh Rosen draft class. Some people argue that who's the best quarterback out of Josh Allen, Lamar, and Luke, you named 2 of those guys.
Yeah. No, we just kind of left him out. Had him in there.
Hard to leave a big boy out of Wyoming out of the list,
Yeah.
man.
Comes back to me now.
No, Doc.
Oh,
Doc.
Okay, Doc.
I have one. I don't remember if he was a first round. I don't know if I want to chance a strike. So I'll play it safe. At least I think it's safe. Andrew Luck.
Yep, 2012 NFL draft, the first overall pick to the Indianapolis Colts. He was Peyton Manning's successor. Manning was coming off that neck surgery.
Okay, how about
Triple neck surgery.
the other kid that just came out of Florida that went to the Colts?
You know his name?
Come on. I was lucky to know he came out of fucking Florida.
Should we give it to him, guys?
Yeah, I'm dealing with a handicap here, man.
Doc, Luke, you guys are the competitors.
Yeah.
And I already got one strike.
All right, we'll give it to him.
That's your call, Mark.
What was it?
We'll give it to him. We'll give everyone.
That's what I was thinking, but I would have thought his name was like McDaniels or something. But that's Anthony Richardson.
We'll give it to him. I knew who he meant. We'll give it to AR off the list. He was hurt last year.
Well, take another quarterback. We'll do Bryce Young.
Whoa.
Young was up.
Hey, he's on the
you gotta
list.
check the list. That's a strike. Got to check the
That's
list, dude. I called him
Damn. I don't remember seeing him. It's okay.
right after CJ
Yeah,
Stroud.
look.
Huh?
After Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I see him now.
All right, Doc.
I'm
You have
gonna
a chance to take the lead.
go. Excuse me.
Bless you. Oh man.
I'm gonna go to the ACC, and I think he was Louisville. Teddy Bridgewater. He was
Yes,
first round,
sir. He was. Yep. Teddy Bridgewater in the 2014 draft, similar to Lamar Jackson. The Vikings, I think, traded. They traded back into the first round to get that 5th-year option for old Teddy B. Good damn, Doc. That was a fucking way to pull that out of your ass, dude.
He is one that, yeah, he's one. A lot of people don't remember that he went first round.
Yeah, he was old two glove Teddy. All right, Jim, back to you.
How about the other kid that just left Florida that's at Tampa Bay now, residing? He got dumped for Brady.
You're talking about Kyle Trask?
Trask. I was thinking
No,
Stroud, but I didn't.
he was
second
not
rounder.
He's second rounder.
God damn, two strikes.
2 strikes. Jim sitting there with 2
How about,
strikes. Doc,
Fucking old
Luke,
man's going to be out soon.
How about good old Jalen Hurts?
no, he was a second rounder as well to Philly.
Damn it. I thought he was
Doc, you have a chance to make some gaps here while they strike out. As long as you don't start striking out, you can start putting some distance between the boys, man.
I am gonna take a guy that I was a huge fan of out of South Dakota State or North Dakota State. I don't know, Carson Wentz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, nope, North
Big
Dakota State.
fan. If he didn't have those back problems, man. Oh, what a
Remember,
shame.
that was the other trade of the 2016 draft where, like I said, Jared Goff, they traded up for number 1. The Rams did. The Eagles traded up to number 2, I believe, with the Titans.
Oh, I thought he went 3.
No, he was 2.
I mean, still first round. Fuck it.
Yep, he was almost MVP. If he didn't get hurt, he would have been probably MVP that year they won the Super Bowl with Big Dick Nick. But Nick Foles did his thing.
How many got
Luke.
up there right now?
So Luke's at 10. I'm sorry, Doc, you're at 12. Luke, you're at 10. Jim is at 9.
That's 31, so there's 12 left.
And
11. Oh yeah, 12 left. Yeah,
Jim is probably going to strike out here.
don't do it.
I want to say
This is where it gets hard because these are some of the names where I was thinking you guys would miss it. This is where you guys would start to forget some of these names.
I got one.
I think I have like 1 left without rolling the dice.
this might be I'm trying to come up with his name where I don't look like a douche and miss 3 in a row. Or get assistance. I'm getting some help on this.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. It's you forget some of these guys are even first round. Some of these guys probably shouldn't have been first rounders, but
RG3.
Yep, that's the guy. That was so when you said Kirk Cousins. When you said Kirk Cousins, RG3 was the first QB taken, and they drafted Kirk Cousins later on in the draft.
Oh, man, pulls a legit.
Oh, that's a good one.
And
That's a good. I forgot about that one. That's another shame to that career.
I was excited to see his career, and that was the whole him and Andrew Luck thing, and both of them now retired because RG3 he was a backup later on, but Luck just wanted to. He couldn't stay healthy. He didn't want to get beat around.
How about we go Aaron Rodgers' replacement, Jordan Love?
Damn it!
That's a good call.
And first playoff win last year.
Yeah,
His
he had a
first
big year.
season as a starter. Did something that Aaron Rodgers couldn't do in his first year.
Yeah, I'm about out of quarterbacks now.
I got to zoom in here and see if this one's been called. Can I ask if one's been called? Will that count as a strike?
Yeah, if you ask me, it's different than calling out the name.
Then like
you
being
say, hey-
confident, right? Has Trey Lance
Yeah.
gone yet?
No, he's not.
Give me Trey Lance.
There we go. The old number 3 pick of that famous 5 QB draft a couple of years ago. So 2021's been closed out.
Did we hit all the ones from last year?
Yes, we did.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So I'll give you guys the years that are left. You have
I'm not going
2010,
to another year.
2010, 2011, 2012. Only one quarterback was drafted in 2013. You have one left in 2016 and one left in 2019.
Wow. Okay, and I got 2 strikes sitting on top of me.
You have a Heisman winning quarterback on this list still too.
Yeah, but he was probably a piece of shit that we all forgot about.
I got him.
Yeah. Luke says I got him. Well, Jim's up first, so let's see what he
All right.
pulls out of his ass.
It'd be nice. If
Doc's
that thing quit
the only one without a strike too. So
I got
you guys strike
2
out
that I'm thinking.
Well, if they strike out Doc before it gets to you, you'll win. You automatically win. So what you thinking, Jim?
Trying to come up with somebody from USC. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think they've had anybody recently. I think their last one was
Sam Darnold was the last one.
he was USC?
Yes, he was. That's kind of why I think Cowher was friends with the family, I believe.
Yeah.
And then now you have Caleb Williams, who's coming in the draft. He's a USC.
Did we already say Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
He's on the board.
That was Doc's because he's a Cal and Coward fan, and he just remembered it, so he knew it.
Well, good thing I didn't say that because that's what I was going to say.
Because I went that one after I think
that.
it was after you said
Milf Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Zach Wilson.
After both of Colin Coward. Oh, it's Jim's turn still, Luke.
Yeah.
I know. I just got to think of someone.
You got 10 seconds though, Jim.
Count me down.
You got 10 seconds. Give it to you at the yep. I know you can do it though. It's not hard. There's a couple names. Doc's gonna be mad. There's one name he didn't say.
Yeah, I'm not coming up with anything. You can go ahead and buzz me.
All right, Jim has been eliminated. Luke to stay alive.
I had some pretty amazing hits on that list, but I'm not going to make it long term.
RG3 was a good one.
Luke, before you have a chance, you have to keep going. You have to hope Doc strikes out. There's, like I said, there's some
Does
names.
he have 1 or 2 strikes?
I have 2.
Luke has 2.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
I made a bad guess. That one's already on the list.
Yeah, that'll get you.
I remember that one.
That will get you.
Yeah, the Jalen Hurts one. That one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I believe in you, Luke.
I can't remember what year he was drafted.
You can think out loud, just don't say it. I mean, just don't be confident when you say it. Just you're allowed to you can brainstorm out loud. Tell us what you're thinking here.
Fuck.
It's tough, huh?
No, it's a tough point now.
We got about 10 seconds as well.
Alex Smith?
First rounder, but 2005. Doc.
I was going to say, he's way old.
Yeah, see,
I thought he was a little younger than that.
But I thought he was older.
Doc, dude, you are our champion tonight, man.
Well, I think I got my first strike. I think my next guess was going to be my first strike because I think he was 09.
Who?
But I had a couple strikes to play with. I was going to go Bradford.
No, Bradford was the 2010.
Was
2010 Heisman. Yep, 2010. It was the Heisman guy. I was last left.
And then in all that time,
mishap.
Yeah, he went to the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Rams. Yep, and then he was the Eagles, and
he
was
Vikings. Right after he was like the year after Stafford or something, right?
Yep,
year after Stafford.
Looked exactly like a sheep. Sam Bradford.
And then there's one other one. There's one other easy one that everybody.
No. Well, yeah. So in 2011, there's 3 guys you guys missed.
Hang on.
Actually, I'm sorry. There was 3 Florida State players, Doc, not 2. There was 3 Florida State players on this list, and you only named.
Let him try to finish it out if you can.
All right, Doc. Yeah, if you can name them out.
Tannehill,
yes, he was in 2012, number 8 pick to the Dolphins.
I was trying to come up with him, but I thought he might be too old.
Nope, 2012. He was part of the Luck RG3, and then there's one more in the 2012 class. And before you got on, me and Jim actually, and Luke mentioned his name. We were talking about just being old and coming back to college and all that, we mentioned his name. So he was thrown out there before the show, just wasn't in context with the game. I know you're a college fan, so I thought you would probably do decent at this. I'll give you guys a hint. One of the guys is
EJ Manuel. He was the only quarterback that year, wasn't he?
2013, the only one, number 13 of the Buffalo Bills. There's still one more Florida State player.
From Florida State.
So one more Florida State
player. What year?
2011. Somehow as a first rounder.
2011.
He made the playoffs in 2012 as a starting quarterback. It wasn't the reason why they made it, but he was part of the team led by a running back. Broke 2,000 yards, won MVP that year.
I don't know that one. I think that's all I got.
Adrian Peterson was the MVP that year. Who was his quarterback, Doc? Before Tavares, or it was after Tavares Jackson, and after Brett Favre. Christian Ponder.
Oh shit! Yep.
Also, the 2011 draft, Jake Locker out of the Tennessee Titans, who almost was the number one pick. The Carolina Panthers admitted they almost drafted Jake Locker. It was either him or the other one, Blaine Gabbert, still in the league, backup role right now. The old guy was Brandon Weeden, boys. Brandon Weeden. He was the number 22 pick, the Cleveland Browns.
So that's the one we talked about.
Jeez.
Yes, and then Paxton Lynch, 2016, the year after.
You couldn't pay me to remember that name.
He was right after they drafted him right after Peyton retired.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to remember that name.
Did we say Drew Lock?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Drew
we
Lock
did.
wasn't. He was second. He was second round.
Oh, damn.
And the last guy on the list, Colin Cowherd got shit for it because he was dead, or he is dead, Dwayne Haskins.
Oh,
he was part of the Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray draft class, and that was a trivia, guys.
Yeah,
so it got tough towards the end. I figured those were the names that were going to start tripping you up on. Neither could Cowherd.
Yeah,
and
never going to win a Super Bowl.
I had a good tiebreaker question too. Shit, let's answer it quick. How many passing touchdowns in the regular season, not playoffs, just regular season, did Tim Tebow have in his career?
26.
What did you say, Jim?
He had
53.
How many? You said 23?
I said 26.
26, 20,
no.
20 23?
I said
26.
53, okay.
I know he had
It's tough.
Fuck, I'll go in the middle. 42.
17.
Oh no!
I knew it was low.
Oh god!
He almost had as many rushing touchdowns than he did throwing touchdowns. I believe he had like 12 or 13 rushing touchdowns in his career.
Oh god!
Here's a trivia question about Tim Tebow for you. You can
All
throw
right.
in sometime later. Of all of his starts at Florida, how many times did he take a snap under center?
0.
Do you actually have it?
I know.
I'll say
I know
once.
what it is.
I'd say 8.
4 times.
Went out of the shotgun every time, huh?
Every time out of the shotgun, because that's what they were running at the time, and that's one reason why he didn't translate over into the pro game.
Well, a lot of QB power.
The quarterback predominantly starts under center, and he couldn't make the adjustment. That probably wasn't the only thing, but when I heard that stat, I
couldn't throw.
Oh, college! In college, he
could throw decent enough.
Yeah, he threw good enough in college, but he
didn't have enough firepower on his team in the pros.
Yeah,
he didn't have enough killers.
I think that was part of the problem.
Oh, we had Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, okay. I forgot.
Gators.
He didn't have the Swamp Kings out there. Yeah,
half that team is out on parole right now.
I've never been a huge Tebow fan, but it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Weeden and some of these other people, that the best player in college football goes to the shittiest team, and then you got to put up with their crap for 3 years. where I think they should. You probably heard this, Mike, was Mark, intern Mike,
No, you're
is
good.
they should do away with the draft and everybody's a free agent. You go to the team that you want to play for and who can pay you. And if you're chasing dollars, fine. If you're chasing opportunity, that's good too. But you don't make bad deals and go to bad teams. And it also forces those bad teams to start getting better because you're not going to sign anybody worth a shit to come play for you. And there's no more, what do they call it? Corporate welfare for you to get the greatest player for 3 years just because that's the guy you can draft. So
I don't know.
I'm done with it.
I mean, so I don't know the numbers in football. I mean, I know everybody's is got the same salary cap in the league, right? Same thing with baseball, but you have small market and large market teams. You got teams like the Florida Marlins or the Pittsburgh
Kansas
Pirates
Royals.
that just can't afford to play like that. They can't afford to be
so-
competitive. The
so
Oakland
you put-
Athletics
so you
cannot
put-
afford to be competitive.
But in NFL, there's no luxury. There's no luxury tax in the NFL,
Right,
though.
But you could put in some type of the NFL has that nobody else has is that salary cap. Where let's just say you're New England this year, or even when Tom Brady was there, and you want to put all of your money that you're going to spend in the draft, you're going to put all of that money into one kid coming out of that draft. Well, under the current situation, you can't do that. But if everybody was a free agent that was coming up, and you could pick from anybody, and you could say, we want to throw $50 million at this kid. He's the missing piece that we need. Whether it was a quarterback or a down lineman, or it didn't make any difference. You as a team now have control over how you're going to spend your money, not based on what's available in the draft. And knowing if you're a good team like New England had been for the last 20 years, that not the last 2 or 3 in that realm, but the 17 years prior to that, now you can dictate where your money goes and who it goes to. And you might get better bargains because people will sign with you because you're a quality team. You're not the fucking Cleveland Browns or the Atlanta Falcons. Sorry, Mike, but that's the way it is.
Our owners love, man. Our owner was one of the top 10 owner.
But your
Yeah,
team's
no,
garbage, and it's been
because he's willing to spend money.
yeah, and it's not going to change for the foreseeable future. But if these
suck.
teams could invest the money the way they wanted to in players, maybe Lamar Jackson doesn't play for the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe he or Caleb Williams coming into the league now. If Caleb Williams has to go to what team drafts him for 3 years, right? And look
Well, I
at
mean, you could always pull the.
Brock
You can always pull
Purdy's
the.
best deal in fucking football right now because of his resume compared to his cost.
But for Caleb Williams, though, you can always pull the John Elway route and just skip a year, and then you're a free agent.
You
The
could,
next year.
if not necessarily.
Or you can bitch like Eli Manning.
You could.
That's how it would probably go.
You could, but
But he came out and said he's happy wherever he goes. So he already opened that door.
But if that team doesn't want to relinquish your rights, when you come back into football, you're going to that team if they drafted you.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Because I remember Bo Jackson. I don't remember it, but yeah, Bo Jackson told Tampa, if you draft me, I'm not playing. And they shit enough they draft him anyways.
And there was certain value in that, but he and Jackson was a purely different player, different than everybody else. But if more people would have come in and said, I'm taking that same route, they just didn't have the cash to be able to pull it off, and Bo Jackson did. So
I don't know. I get what you're saying.
like-
I get what you're saying. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know if I could fully. I'd have to maybe do some more like digging into it before I make a full decision. But I don't know.
I think it goes back into. I mean, you say it forces teams to have to spend money and be competitive. It really doesn't. I mean, the amount of players in the NFL that are making more money than the entire Oakland A's payroll is insane.
but you're talking about football and baseball.
No, I know, but I'm just
To
the
me,
Oakland A's
you
though
can't. You,
are a perfect example of you don't have to spend money. You could just be the bottom of the barrel and just be cheap and poor and everything else.
but for years before any of you were born, are you familiar with Hugh Culverhouse? Any of you know who he is?
No.
The
Yeah.
No.
he was the owner before his daughter. He passed away. His daughter sold the Buccaneers to Malcolm Glazer and his sons, and now Malcolm Glazer's dead. His boys own the team, and Hugh Culverhouse, his whole reason for being in the NFL was this is a huge investment for me. Brings in a lot of money for me and my operation. Doesn't make any difference what he put on the field. Doesn't make any difference what he did in free agency, what he did in the draft, who was coaching the team, who was playing on the team. He had revenue sharing from the league, and the guy made millions every year, regardless if he was 3-7 or 7-3 or whatever. They were playing a 12 game and then a 16 game season at some points in his ownership. He didn't give a fuck about making anything any better on his team because he didn't have to. That wasn't his reason for owning that team. Now it's a little bit different where you have other people involved that they want to make money, but they understand too that if I have a championship level program out there, I can command even more money from all my vendors, from all the seat of my skyboxes, everything gets bigger. So Culverhouse didn't care about any of that, but he still made a ton of money. And that's the kind of reason why in the beginning the Bucks were 0-26 right out of the gate. The longest losing streak in professional sports history.
Wish
I
they do
lived
that
through
now.
that as a kid. Well, not 0-26, but they
Yeah.
could. They that's what they could produce next year. But if they would have been able to or forced to at some point, we're either going to have to put money into this or we're always going to be the doormat. Now, there's negativity in that doormat,
Hey, Browns did it for
but
years.
they
Yeah, I
have.
mean, it took it definitely took the Bucks a while. It took them to get Tony Dungy really, and then Dungy turned them around, and then John Gruden won with his team, and then obviously then
John
years
Gruden won with John Gruden's team.
John Gruden
John
won with
Gruden
Tony
didn't.
Dungy's
He
team.
didn't win with Tony Dungy's team.
That was Dungy's team.
If Tony Dungy's team would have won, Tony Dungy's would have had the fucking trophy.
Well, it was like the Raiders coach. The Raiders coach took John Gruden's team to the Super Bowl, but just didn't win.
Then he didn't win.
I mean, that's just the way I felt. I mean, and then years later, after that, the Bucks sucked forever, and then they get Brady, and then they've still been relevant with Baker last year, and
I
yeah,
like what they're doing. I like where they're going with it. But if you think about the draft a little bit different, and players know that I'm not pigeonholed into whoever wants to take me, I have other opportunities. So a lot like Caleb Williams is being pat on the back for doing the same thing that Lamar Jackson has been excoriated for. Why would you go this on your own, especially in a rookie contract? Now people are opening up to that. So kind of like NIL and other things that are kind of changing the landscape of sports, I think you're going to see more players do that in the future. And it's only going to be the star players coming out of college that can command that. But eventually, I think you're going to see a change in the draft. And I would love to see what Caleb Williams could do if he could select where he went instead of I've got the team that's going to draft me or the team that's going to trade up to draft me. I've got 2 or 3 options, and that's the only options I have out of 32.
I kind of like your idea, but setting like a cap on it, and then let's say like you said, 50 million. All the teams get 50 million to spend in that free agency draft, whatever, and you can either throw it all on a guy like Caleb Williams, right, or you can spread it out, fill the holes that you have on your team because the only concern that I see, and it depends on whether or not it would be a cap or if it's just going to go solely off of cap space that the team has. But I mean, if you're looking at, I know the Saints just cleared up a bunch of money, but they were so far over the salary cap, it's unreal. I mean, they couldn't get anybody.
Right.
Well, I mean, the free agency hasn't hit yet, but yeah, they're clearing space so they can maybe make a signing, maybe 2 small signings, but they also have to have clear that cap because you have to have cap space for your rookies because you have whoever you sign, yeah, you're gonna have to have cap for those guys too, especially your first rounders. First rounders going to be what the first overall pick's what, like $28-30 million, something like that is usually what the first pick of the draft is.
I would say going based off of what the pick positions are and what the median. Hey, you can sign one guy at this amount of money, and then you have this amount of money to get the rest. That way, it still keeps it competitive. It still gives them that freedom, that choice, but it keeps it because you got to keep a balance with teams. Like, yeah, if you want to blow all your money on one guy, great, but you're going to end up in the same position if you can't fill holes elsewhere.
Right,
but the draft also is good because. Because you mentioned balance, Doc, that's the point of the worst team gets the first pick because you're supposed to eventually the worst team is going to have more cap space than the good teams like the Chiefs and these premier teams, and then like the teams like, no offense, Doc, but the Bears, you guys have one of the highest cap spaces in the NFL, and you have 2 picks in the top 10, and you guys have talent if you guys just do it right. And that's the point. Is it's supposed to bring you guys back to the top.
That's what
and
Foles has been working for with getting these draft picks. But
that's the point of the draft in general, though. It's supposed to bring bad teams and bring them up. After a couple of years, you're not supposed to be like Peyton Manning, for example, wasn't a superstar his rookie season, but it took him a couple of years.
No, I like the intent, but how often does it happen? We talked about Cleveland earlier.
Houston did it.
Carolina.
Well, Houston did it.
Indy did it with Andrew Luck.
Detroit. It took a few years, but I mean,
but then as soon as Luck left, they're right back in the mix of being back in the shit. And I'm not sure that Richardson is enough of a quarterback that's going to. Is Richardson the equivalent of Andrew Luck and going to duplicate that same thing?
Well, athleticism he is, but we'll see what he does.
Well, as far as leadership and does it translate into wins and getting deeper into the playoffs? Because Andrew Luck, to duplicate that same thing, was ultimately going to have to win a championship, just like Peyton Manning did.
Or just do what teams.
Probably why he decided to get out, to preserve his body, but he knew that with this team, I can't get to that level. So why fight up that hill?
That's why I see Jim's point, because like the draft, it builds that balance. You're supposed to be taking the worst teams and giving them the opportunity to get the best improvement. But at the same time, you take teams that are consistently in the top 5 draft picks. And especially, I won't even say teams are consistently there, but how many times have you seen a quarterback go in the top 5 and they just don't build around them? They don't get the rest of the necessary tools. Justin Fields a prime example.
Right.
No, the Browns are a prime example.
Look
at this.
Even if they could, they can't build quick enough to help that guy, right?
We just did our trivia, right? We just did our trivia game. So since 2012, the Browns drafted Brandon Weeden in 2012. They drafted Johnny Manziel 2 years later in the first round, and then they drafted
Johnny Manziel's a different case.
But still, they didn't build around Brandon. But they didn't build around Brandon Weeden, first round pick. Then you went to Johnny Manziel 2 years later in the first round, didn't work out, and then you went 4 years later to Baker Mayfield with the number 1 pick. So you had 3 quarterbacks from 2012 to 2018, and the top. 2 of them in the top. Well, Johnny was 22, so was Brandon Weeden. So 3 in the top 22. And in 4 years,
and that's what I'm
years.
saying. That's why Justin Fields is a prime example.
Big 12 teams, right?
What was that?
Three Big 12 teams putting their
quarterback
in the NFL draft, and they were all shit.
Was A&M? No, A&M was SEC at that time.
I think at that time.
Yeah, because remember, because he got the hype for beating Alabama. That's how he got his Heisman as a freshman.
But was that a conference game or a non-conference game?
No, that was conference because he played. No, that was conference. They made the jump because them and Missouri made the jump. That was right when they made the jump to get to the SEC.
Okay.
But Baker and John or Brandon Whedon, yes, Big 12 from Oklahoma schools.
But still, Cleveland has so many guys that come into that operation that have not been able to turn that team around, including one of the ACC greats in Deshaun Watson, and whatever he's been reduced to recently, he still should be able to produce on the field, and he's not been able to do it. And that has
He's not
to
getting
do
his pregame
something.
massages.
Well,
Yeah.
so even give him that. I mean, who gives a fuck about the hand job? You could bring fucking 30 chicks in to give him a hand job.
God damn.
And especially if they thought
It's true.
they could bring a win, there'd be girls lined up around the corner. There'd be dudes lined up around the corner. To give him a hand job. Dress up as a chick. You're
Got to
such
take
a
one
Luke,
for the
fucking
team.
effect.
We need to
Luke,
win.
Browns
Luke,
had to call
if they
Mr.
said-
Elite to get him. Huh?
Luke, if they said, "Hey, Lamar Jackson needs a hand job every single week to win the Super Bowl," you going to line up for him?
I mean, if consensual.
So Luke's down.
You or him?
Yeah, are you okay with it? Yeah, I mean, Lamar wants it. Are you going to do it for him?
Yeah, if he needs it.
Yeah, Lamar's
Super
just
Bowl.
close his eye. A hand is a hand.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fucking.
Yeah.
That's a team effort right there.
I mean, mine are a little rough, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I like
yeah,
it.
but-
I said it before though, but you look at Justin Fields. Bears didn't have an offensive line, so Justin Fields is scrambling, leading the league and getting sacked. You know, they didn't get a receiver until last year because Darnell Mooney had one good year. Let's be honest. Darnell Mooney had one breakout year and hasn't really done shit since. Allen Robinson they wrote out of the playbook. They started doing the same actually with Darnell Mooney because I think they had no intention of keeping him. They finally get
You
DJ
got Claypool.
Moore last year. Watch your mouth. They finally get DJ Moore
Who's gonna-
last year. And you finally start seeing flashes of what Justin Fields is capable of doing. They put a couple of pieces in the offensive line. They still got some work to do. Whitehair's gone. I need Lucas Patrick to be gone just as fast. And I think if we pick up another stud in the draft, hopefully early in the second round, then I think we're looking good. But, you know, we get
It has to come on that offensive line, though, right?
I think if
It
we
almost have to be offensive line first, unless there's some superstar receiver. But if you can't keep Fields on his feet, it doesn't matter. If he's going to be sacked as much as he has.
the only the
I
only
hate to say
thing I'm
it.
thinking,
Fields is getting traded. I hate to say it. Like,
the
it's
only
the
thing
whole
that I'm
argument.
thinking is
gonna be a
if
Falcon.
we're going to keep Fields,
Or Steeler.
drop back a couple spots. You can't go past 4. But if you can trade down to 2 or 3 to get Marvin Harrison, that's the only way I'd take him over a lineman
Ooh.
first.
Ooh.
But I'm telling you right now, I think I'm telling you right now, I
You
think
put
he's
him
traded
with
for a
DJ
mid-round pick.
You take him with DJ Moore. You take I'm liking Dallas Turner with our number 9 pick, and then early in the second round, because I think we have an early pick in the second round, or we'll get one with the
'Cause I think
with the trade down. But you use that to get the best offensive lineman that's left. I mean, Darnell Wright, I think had a good year last year. He's coming back. There's a couple of guys that are playing second string on the Bears offensive line that I like. Tevin Jenkins being one of them. He just had some disciplinary or some self-discipline issues on the field, but if we can get that fixed up, I think he'd be a great spot on the offensive line. I mean, we can make it happen. We have a lot of the pieces in free agency coming up. Honestly, we don't even need it in the draft. There's studs in free agency that we can pick up. For
it's gonna tell because you have the combine going on this weekend, and then you have pro days will come up later on, but you have free agency starting I think March 11th and March 13th. I think free agency frenzy starts March 11th, so I think maybe that's when they can start signing.
Most
So
of the running
like-
backs, most of
well,
the
it's
big
like the
players
tampering
come on the
period.
13th.
yeah,
And honestly,
Like,
I say get
so
the draft capital for next year, and if we suck again next year, fuck it, we got 2 top 10 picks again.
But the problem though is I like I said off air to you, Doc, and I mean this. If you stick with Justin Fields this year, fine, and I'm okay with it. If you build around him, that's fine. But if you don't make the playoffs this year with what you have, the money, Uberflus is gone. If this year if they don't make the playoffs, he's gone.
Okay with that.
Hey,
I am
Ryan
okay
Poles will
with that.
stay.
maybe,
Poles will
maybe
stay.
He's the problem. Maybe Uberflus is a problem.
But now they got Shane Waldron as the offensive coordinator, so they need to build the quarterback around Shane Waldron's system. It's his playbook now. He's calling the play, so they need to get the quarterback. If that's Justin Fields, if that's Jaden Daniels, if that's Daniels or Drake May or whoever they want to put at quarterback, they got to get a guy that fits what Shane Waldron does. Remember, he was there, I believe, with Russ. They got to have someone that can fit his scheme. It's not about Uberflus will have to take the bullet because he's the coach. He brought Waldron in.
You're gonna see a better Chicago team next year, regardless, because.
But we thought that this year too.
But the Bears finished what 6-3, 7-3.
Like the last 9 games, you're saying?
That's what like their second half of the season was superb, and that was after the Montez Sweat deal. So you keep that.
He changed everything.
Rolling. Yeah, you keep the defense rolling. Hopefully, we bring Jalen Johnson back. Add a stud edge rusher to go opposite of Sweat, and we get another receiver. And I mean, just those two alone is going to be huge for this team. I mean, there's not a whole lot changing. I know we need a safety. We probably need another corner. Hopefully we bring Johnson back, but I know we need a safety. Tyreek Stevenson is still – I mean, he was incredible last year.
He's a rookie, yeah. He was a rookie, too.
Yeah, he was a rookie, and he was incredible.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's a lot to tell, and we'll get an idea of that in a couple weeks. Like I said, March 11th is when it starts tampering time, and that's when you'll start seeing, hey, these guys are going here. Are people getting traded off the franchise tag? And so, we'll start getting an idea of what the draft is going to hold itself once, because that's it's hard doing the mocks. I know people do it now this early, but it's hard to get an idea of who is going to go where because you never know. What happens if the Bears trade the pick right away? Like that changes to whoever has the first pick. Or if they trade Fields, then we have an idea. Yeah, then they're going quarterback. Like you don't know 100% who's doing what because you don't know who signed who. If like Alan said, if Russ goes to the Patriots, do they draft a quarterback at number 3? Do they just go Marvin Harrison? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you don't know what's going to happen until free agency officially kicks off.
Would be, though.
I'm still saying
Russ isn't a free agent though, is he?
No,
he's gone though. He's not going to be a Bronco.
No,
there's too much bad blood.
Broncos going to eat his deal, and Russ can play on a vet minimum. He'll be the biggest deal if somebody signs him on a vet minimum.
He's gonna bring down wherever he goes. He's not even a flash in the pan for what he used to be.
But he didn't play that bad last year. His problem was he played bad at key situations.
But here's the thing, though. If you are New England, you got a chance to trade up, get Caleb Williams. You got a chance to stay where you're at and get either Drake May or Jaden Daniels. Are you going to take Russ as a stopgap for a year
do what
or
I
two
said.
at the most?
Do what I said. You take Marvin Harrison at 3. You had 3 of the top 10 worst receivers in football that got separation yards last year open. And then I get no one likes Bo Nix. You trade up in the fucking late first round and you get Bo Nix for a 5th-year option. So you hold that 5th-year option for 5 years for him. And then, yes, you have Bo Nix at the end of the first round. You don't have to trade up a few picks. You can probably trade with the Cardinals or even the Niners at pick 31 before the Raiders or Vikings might want to trade back in if they don't go quarterback. And then you get Bo Nix with Marvin Harrison Jr. And then, you start spending money, too. They have cap they can spend money on in the offseason. I'm not saying draft a quarterback for New England is the must thing to go. And I'm not saying draft Marvin Harrison, but New England has so many needs that they're not a 1-year – they're not Houston. Well, we didn't think Houston was going to be this early, but we don't see them pulling Houston Texans this year. We see them maybe a couple years.
I also don't see him going wide receiver first. Not with the total rebuild that they need.
Total rebuild, but you also don't know what New England's mentality is going to be moving forward without Belichick.
That's true too. It's different. It's a different era.
So the new guy coming in, who is it, Mayo?
Jared Mayo, but there's a GM too. Belichick's not even the GM, so
that's a whole crapshoot and nobody knows what that thing's going to look like.
But like I said, free agency, that's just going to start to tell, boys. But hey, great episode. I had fun.
Let me leave you with this. Cleveland, New England might be the new Cleveland.
They've earned it. They've earned it.
Yeah.
They've earned it. Yeah, they've earned it. They got 6.
Now they're on that downward trajectory, and it takes a lot to pull that thing up. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to sign us off. No, that'd be awesome to see. 6 Super Bowls in 20-year plus span, and then then they shit the bed. So that'd be great for me. Hopefully some other teams can join them. But no, it'd be good to have that. Let the balance come back. Like Detroit, we sacrificed New England Patriots for the Detroit Lions. So that's what I'm good. I'm good with that. But great show, boys. Doc, you're the genius of the show. You're the smartest guy of the 3. So congrats on your first win at trivia night.
Feels good.
Well done, Doc.
Yep.
But
Thank
Luke
you.
and Jim, you
Thank
guys did pretty good. You guys had some there. You guys got almost. I think Luke got past 10. Jim, you're right before 10. So pretty good. So pretty good show, boys. I loved it. Jim, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for literally. I called you about 40 minutes before we got on and say, hey,
Yep.
we need you. And
Thanks for having me. And anytime I can fill in, let me know.
hey, like I said, anytime, man. Like I said, so look out there, boys. I'm getting with Jake. We're starting the basketball time. We're starting to get there. Doc, I know you're getting ready. We're starting baseball coming up soon, too. I'm telling you guys, April 25th, we're going live for the draft, the first annual watch-along for the NFL draft. That will be on YouTube Live. We're going to be live, like, just talking football. And can't wait. Can't wait to do this next Monday as well. We talk about the Combine, so get ready. I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke Rule. That's Nick Knox Kirkland. That's Jim McCrary. I'm the host, but I have 3 great co-hosts, and we are out.
Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Sack House.